Hi, today we are going to see file handling in C. Myself, Dr. S. Nitya Kalyani, Professor in Computer Science Department, working in Sri Shanmuga College of Engineering and Technology, Sangagiri, Salem. So, what is file? File that makes you to store a data permanently. Unlike variable, we can store the data permanently without any confusions. So there are two types of file: text files and binary file. Text files are used to store the data in the readable form. Binary files where the values are zeros and ones. So why to use the files? Where we want to store a large volume of data, then we can go for files. To share the data between the programmers, then we can go for files. Even the data need to be persist after the program execution, then we can go for files. Where large volume of data is printed on the output screen, then we can go for the files. See, when we go for a large volume of data for the output, it is difficult to view on the screen. So better we can store that output in the another file, then we can use that file for viewing or processing later. So file basically it is a data type where we need to create a file pointer for this. So file pointer is a pointer that points to the file structure. This is a syntax file. We need to give file as a capital letter, then pointer variable star fp. So the fp can hold f open of file name comma mode. So fp is a pointer variable to the data type file. So file name is a string that specifies the name of the file. Then f open, it opens the file that is already existing or going to create a new file depending upon the mode. Let's we discuss the modes in separately later. So mode is a string which specifies the purpose of opening this file, whether it is a read mode or write mode or append mode. So for read mode we need to give R, W, for write mode A, for append mode. See, these are some of the basic operations in a C. For first we need to create a file, then only we can able to read or write or append. For creating the file we need to use fopen_off. A new file is created using fopen_off with the mode read or read W plus read and write mode or A append mode. If the file is already existing, it can able to open. If not, it will need to create a file. Then opening a file. So opening before doing any operations in the file must be opened if it is already existing. For, for reading the file, we have to open the file in a read mode operation. For writing the file, we need to write the data in the file. The data written using the functions like fputc, fputs for character, for reading, for writing the character. Then we have used it for writing the character. We use fputc. For writing the string, then we can go for fputs. Before putc and puts, we have to put f, which indicates that it is a file operations. Similar to the basic standard input and output operations, we have f put c and f put s. Then f printf, which is a formatted output. F write-off, which is used to write the blocks in binary data. Then for reading this, f read-off is used to read the blocks. Then searching the file, for searching the file, that the file must be already exist. Then we can go for the operations like f get c, f get s, f scanf, or other string operations that are already existing. Then we can move the file operations using fseek_off, ftell, and rewind off functions for navigating the files. For traversing the files, meaning that we move the data or file sequentially. Commonly used for accessing the files are fgetc, fgets, and freadoff. Once the file is already opened or created and then we are processing the file, then we need to close the files. Always for closing the files we need to use close off. So once the file is open, we need to close the file. If you are going to create a 3 or 4 files, then we need to create each and every files individually. Some of the compiler will have close all for closing all the all the pointers that are opened. Next, we are going to see about file modes in C for the text type. There are two types of file operations. One is text, another one is binary. For the text operations, we are read, write, append. R plus means for reading and writing. W plus means reading and writing. A plus means reading and writing. So what is reading? Reading R mode indicates the reading if all the files already exist. If the file already exists, we can able to open it. If the file does not exist, it will create the error. Then for write mode, we are using the W code within the double quotes. For write mode, the file does not need to be exist already. If does not exist, it will create a new one. If it is already existing and we are trying to write, then it will delete all old data. Then we are going for append data. Append means we are going to add the data that is already existing to the file. So we no need to have the file that must be already exist. If it does not exist, it creates a new file and it will write it. Or else it already existing files means if it opens the existing file and it will go and it will move the pointer to the end of the file for adding the new content. Similar to R plus means this file is opened for both read and write operations. If it does already exist, then it is open. If does not exist, the error is shown. The file pointer will move to the starting of the file position. Here only for the append mode, it will move to the end of the file, or else all the other operation, the file pointer moves to the starting of the file content. Then file mode operations in the binary. RB, read binary, write binary, append binary, read and write binary data, write and read binary data, write and read binary data in append mode. It is both the case text files and binary cases are similar. The reading mode, in for the reading mode, the file must be already exist. If the file does not exist, it will create an error. If already existing data is opened, then we can, if you are trying to add the new data, then the old data will be deleted in a writing mode. In append mode, the old data will not be deleted since we are going to append or adding the data at the end. It will not delete. This is the difference between write mode and the append mode. So the points to remember for the file mode, for a reading mode, the opens an existing file, the reading only. The file is open only for reading the file. If the file does not exist, it will return null. If it exists, it will open and it moves the pointer to the beginning of the file and it starts reading the character one by one. Then when we are going for write mode, we have to open your file. In such a case, if the file does not exist, it automatically creates, or else it will create a new file and it erases all the data that is already returned. So the previously data entered cannot be recovered in a writing mode. So when we are using for a write mode, we have to be clear. Then the file pointer, here also the file pointer moves to the starting of the file content. In append mode, opens a file for writing only. Here the file does not exist, it creates a new one. If the file does exist, it will not delete the data. Similar, unlike write mode, it will add the data at the end of the file. It start writing at the end of the file. So the file pointer automatically moves to the end of the file before writing the operation. You cannot read from the file opened in a append mode. If the file that is open in append mode and we are trying to read it, then we cannot do it. So let's see the some program for opening and closing the file. See here. So each time we have to start with int main function, then file pointer. So file is a data type, file, file, which should be mentioned in capital letter. File is a data type. Then the variable name you are going to give fp, which is a pointer variable for the file. Then fp is equal to f open off. This is a function that is used to open the file. Then we need to give the file name with the extension, comma, then whether we are going to read or write or append. We have to give the mode of the operation. Since it is here we are using write mode, we are going to open the file. if the and we are trying to check whether the file is already existing. If the file does not exist, the error is thrown. If the file is if the file does not exist, the error is thrown, and it will be creating the new one. Once the file is opened successfully, then we are going to close the file. F close off. Then we need to give the parameter fp. We have to give the pointer variable. We have to give the file pointer variable for closing, then return. See this program. After executing the sample file, example.txt is opened, and the file opened successfully. Here we have given using printf statement, which will be printed in here our console. So file open is successful. Next, writing the file into main file fp. Here also we are going to give the file pointer. Then we are going to open the file pointer. Then we are going to give in write mode. Write mode. Here we are going to use this program to write on your another file, text file. So fp, if it is null, it return. Then here we have used fprintf. Instead of printf statement, we have used fprintf. Then the syntax is fp. We need to give the pointer variable, or the new file that where we want to write. So the new file that we want to write is example.txt, which is stored in the file pointer fp. That comma, then we are going to give the word, that is hello, file handling in C. This statement will be written on your file, that is example.txt. Then fput is, we can either use fprintf or we can use fput s also. First, this s is for string. This is a sample program for writing the content to a file, to writing the content to another file. So both the content are displayed. Hello, file handling in C. This is the sample program. You can see this output in a new text file, example.txt. After completing this program, we have to close this file pointer fp, then return function. Here we are going to read the file from the existing file. We are going to read. See some file fp. We are going to read the character, right, character by character. fp f open of example.txt in R mode. We are going to read. If the file pointer is null, if it does not exist, the example.txt, it will return 1. Else it start reading the character one by line. For that we need to give fgetS. FgetS str, which the character where which we which is going to read the character one by one from the another file. Then the size of str comma the pointer variable which where this file exists. For example, example.txt. This example.txt is passed to the variable. Then it is not equal to, since until it is not equal to null, each and every character is read and it is printed on your console. So here printf percentage is str. Hi, welcome to the file handling in C function. F close off, then the function has to return. So this next program is to count the word in the file. This is a sample program for counting the number of words in the file. File pointer, character. We are going to, since we are going to count number of words, we are going to initialize word equal to 0. F open. We are going to give the file name in the reading operation. We no need to write, since we are going to count the file. For that we need to open the existing file. For opening the existing file, we can use only read mode. If fp equal to null, then return 1, while the character fgetS of p is not equal to eof. What is eof? End of the file. Okay. During the string operation, we may use /0 for indicating the null character, end of the string. Here to explicitly say the compiler it is the end of the file. We have reached the end of the file. We have a keyword called eof. Then we are going to check the condition whether the each character that we have received from the uh, example.txt is equal to space or slash a new character. If so, then it counts the word. For example, h, first time it reads the h, it is not equal to it is not a empty or new character. A, it is not empty or new character. I, it is not empty or new character. Then it space it reads the space, it is a empty, then the word count will be 1. Similarly, it reads each and every character until hello, hi, welcome to file handling in C. Here the exclamation mark is also treated as a one word. So the output will be 8. Okay, so print of total word we are going to print out in the our output screen, that is this console. So we are giving only the printf statement, not f printf. We are trying to print of f printf, then the value will be displayed in the example.txt. So after opening all this file, we are going to close the file, f close off, then the program return 0. Next, here we are going to copy the content from one file to the another file. For example, here we have source file and the destination file. So file, source file and destination file, we are going to give the 2 pointers. So we are going to read the character by character, and then we are going to copy the content from the source file, and we are going to copy it to the destination. So source is equal to f open of source.txt in the read format, because the file going to be already exist. If it does not exist, it will throw an error, else it start reading each and every character, and it is stored in the destination file, that is copy.txt. If the copy.txt is null, then the file cannot be created in the destination file, else the f it's closed. Else here each and every character is is received, retrieved from the source file. F gets C of source. So each and every character is taken from the source.txt, and it is stored in ch. Then it is checked with not equal to end of the file. If the condition is true, then f put c. Here see, we are going to use f put c, which means we are going to copy the content from the source file to the destination file. So we are going to copy to the copy.txt file. Each and every character will be copied from the source file to the destination file. Then printf file is copied successfully. See here the f printf, which is going to print it in our console. We can see here also file is copied. Then since we have used both the pointers, f source and f destination, we need to close each and every file pointer separately. I told how many number of files you want to access. You can use it in say single program, but one thing, we need to close all the file before the end of the program, else it will throw an error. Then return 0. We can see the source file. The source file is copied to the new file, that is copy.txt. Thank you, ma.